Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Lady L from TCP. In the morning, we got a live show for you going down today. But listen, before we get into it, I want to let you know, go ahead and get the kids over to Busybodies Play Cafe this weekend. It's going to be in the mid-60s, and the kids will thank you for it later. So get on over to Busybodies Play Cafe over at the shops at Rockville. For today's show, we're going to be talking about Lancaster County's being sued. We're going to let you know who. And Joe Biden is still talking about student loan forgiveness. We're going to find out where he's at with that. And Amazon is offering an accelerator program for business owners. You don't want to miss the show. Go ahead and start sharing the stream to at least 3 different people or groups and come back and let's get into it. Good morning.
You listening to this podcast. Do me a favor and head over to the TCPnetwork.com. TCP, or The Culture Professional, is Pennsylvania's first digital platform to highlight the voices of disenfranchised groups. With 13 podcasts and counting, there's something for everyone. Entertainment a la carte is what we like to say. Again, that's the TCPnetwork.com and The Culture Professional on Facebook. TCP, it's a movement, not a moment.
Morning. Wake up, guys. It's TCP in the morning.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
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 It's TCP in the morning. It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning.
Good morning. Wake up, y'all. It's TCP in the morning with the morning tea.
Sing the song here in a minute.
TCP in the morning.
Go, man.
Twerk.
I didn't get a little ding.
I didn't get a ding either.
No one got a ding.
I didn't get not a dome, not a bing,
Not an
Bing.
alert.
not a bomb.
Not one bing over in these hearts.
Nothing. But that's okay. Because in 4 days, we are going to be broadcasting live from the TCP app. Still going to be on Facebook.
Hey.
Not going to get rid of home base. Not going to deviate from the home team. But we are definitely are going to be enjoying the days when we are on our own app. Let's sing them to them, man. Hey, welcome to the
Welcome
to the show! Ladies and gentlemen, wake your ass up, brush your teeth, brush your ass because your morning team is back. And back is beautiful, y'all. Sarge, what's going on, man? Happy hump day.
Happy How y'all doing out there? Your first time tuning in, welcome to the show.
Welcome to
For
the
those
show.
that have been around a little bit, you already know what to do. Hit the share button. Tell everybody we live right now, baby. Yeah, send them a little message when you send it to them. Say good morning. Get some of this goodness. But anyway, I'm glad y'all here. Let's go.
Bang, Lady L.
Hey, good morning, guys. I wasn't ready for the camera to be on me or anything like that, but I'm so glad that you are here. Happy hump day. I'm so excited to be with you all. It's going to be a phenomenal show. Go ahead and share the stream, and let us know that you love us. Say good morning in the comments. I'm going to be in the comments. You should be there too. And just a reminder, Brown tickets are going on sale on the 1st of May.
Yay. Let's go.
25 and over is a requirement. That's not my problem. That's your mama's problem if you ain't 25. So listen, the prom tickets are going on sale on May 1st via our app and Eventbrite. So go on ahead, get your storage ready on your Divis, you one of those people that got all them apps and you every 6 days you got to delete some photos, you're running out of memory. Please make space for the TCP Plus app.
Yeah, man.
All right? Over to the desk.
Yes, please make some space for us, folks. We are T minus what? 5 days? How many days are there in April? There's only 30 days in April. So
Sunday.
We are Sunday. Sunday. Cannot wait. Folks, do not forget to, like Lady L said, make space on your phone to download the TCP Plus app. Giving you everything you need, everything you wanted, and everything you did not know existed. My name is Marquise Lupton. Parents call me that. You can call me DJ Quiet Storm.
DJ Quiet Storm.
One of 3 hosts, one of 4 personalities on this thing we call TCP in the morning. The best thing that you can have in your cup. Folks, we want you to share the stream because friends do not let friends TCP alone. Don't do it. Say good morning in the comments section. Don't be rude. Let's give it to our dude with a bad attitude.
Uh-oh.
Got more chicks than Rick Rude.
Ooh. Ravishing.
DJ Double O.
Ooh.
Well, my hair's out. I don't know about the got more chicks thing. That is very inaccurate. I am very happy in my situation.
It just rhymed.
Right. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
When he said chicks, he meant peeps.
Happy to be here. If I lose my life on my way home. Love y'all.
You're going to need Ivana. Ivana 6'5".
See? Let's get these people the news, man. You got me all trying to start sweating over here. Friends lying on me.
I'm embarrassingly warm.
Oh, man. I don't know what's going
man. All the feels.
Like my nipples are sweating.
Neville, good morning. Rebecca, happy hump day to you. Taekwon, good morning. Jen, happy hump day to you as well. Good morning to you. Lisa, good morning. Never mind, Quiet Storm is just jokes.
Don't try to say good morning now, right?
Miss Sonia, it is great to see you. Good morning. That is somebody that we need to have up on the show sometime soon. You want to talk about the pillars, somebody that really set a tone creatively here in Central PA. Like you cannot not disinclude. You have to include Miss Sonia Mann McFarland and Imani edutainers, definitely. So thank you for joining us this morning. Nair, good morning to
what
you.
up?
I've been delving into the book. Yes, I have been reading it.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah. Story.
Yo.
That's a heck of a story.
Yo.
It's like, she lived through this?
I'm reading it. I'm like, damn. Damn. And in some parts, I'm like, yeah, damn. Like, sheesh.
Yo. I gave it a peruse myself. It's a good read.
Yo.
It's a good read.
Yes, indeed. Sabrina, good morning to you. Like always, it is always great to see you. Corinne, good morning to you. I was able to catch the live yesterday. Great conversation. And Uncle Gary, we saw you pop up. We are waiting for you to either tell us about journaling because that seems to be a great point.
Yo,
like
the longer it goes on, the more prophetic he's seen.
Yo, straight up.
The more prophetic he's
seen. Straight up.
Like, you gotta listen to Uncle Gary, yo.
Them dudes from Dade County. Must be them dudes from Dade County.
Right. I think I'm gonna stop arguing with him now.
I don't know how to act down in Dade
County. Oh man. Uncle Gary says, good morning, update. That sounds so nasty. And then Candace says, top of the morning, TCP family. Candace, good morning to you. And you didn't say good morning yet, but I saw your name pop up. Jusu, what's going on, good brother? Hope you can take some time to say good morning. This is a good friend of mine, John Jutsu Esquire.
Esquire.
Yeah, John Jusu Esquire representing IOTA.
So we know who to call.
IOTA Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
Some mess.
Huh?
I said, then we know who to call when somebody sends us some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my go-to. When I say that, I got a lawyer that'll eat the case. I mean John. Nicole.
We just gonna leave with his last name. 'Cause it's strong.
Right, he got a strong last name, Juicy. Double J, ask about him. Nicole, what is going on? She says, morning from State College.
Yeah.
And then Gary says, hump day sounds
Morning.
so nasty.
I am traumatized. All I heard was state, and I thought you were gonna say penitentiary.
Well, I mean, she can't.
I'm sitting up here like, oh, you had greatest fur today.
I don't think she can be in the comment section in the penitentiary.
Maybe what you talking about? They be on Facebook.
Well, I was
Really?
about to say something.
If you're in the penitentiary, send a thumbs up. Just want to know. John says, my man, good morning, bro. Yes, John, good morning to you. And Libby,
What up, Libby?
good morning to you. I heard that the event yesterday was nothing short of amazing. If you ever want to have the whole morning team and not just 1/4, we would love to just send Lady L again. just playing. Would love to attend as well. Folks, have a jam-packed show for you today.
5 pounds.
Yeah. The ACLU sues Lancaster County over their bail practices. Also, taking the American dream from us. Detroit. They have been overtaxing a majority of their black resident homeowners for over 30 years. So we're going to be getting into that. Brooklyn Public Library is fighting back against the book ban.
Book bans?
Yeah. So anyone in the U.S. ages 13 to 21 to have a digital card can have a digital card. So they are combating the book bans that are going on around the country. And then finally, a white principal claims she was bullied into resigning after a racist slip of the tongue.
A racist
slip of the
I
tongue.
hate when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, when the racism just creeps up, man, I can't help it. But here's the thing, though. The racist slip of the tongue happened during a racial sensitivity and equity training.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Well, how's that a slip? They didn't try it?
And then she
Like,
says,
you know what I can't stand about those.
right. And then she doubles down and says, you know what? We don't need those racial sensitivity trainings because they only bring out the racism in you. Make it make sense, America. Make it make sense.
It does. I remember I was at a training at the YW, and we had to talk about these microaggressions. So one of the microaggressions that I identified is, the renditions of "You're in America, speak English." That, and it's crazy because there was a white woman who was in my group, and she was like, "Well, it's not that. It's just that we're in America and the language here is English. That's all I'm saying." And she was triggered that we were saying this is a microaggression. This is racism. And she was triggered and spent like 30 minutes trying to explain.
Defend her racism.
Pretty much.
I'm
and
not
we're
racist.
like, no, ma'am, this is wrong.
I don't use the N-word, but don't let those N-words get next to me.
But don't let the Spanish people speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't speak nothing but English.
Yeah.
I just think if you're in America, you speak American.
Yeah.
American's a language.
American's a language. There it is. Jen, good morning to you. Nicole says, OMG, please no. LOL, next time, outside Penn State. Libby says, yes. Winston's Delicacies says, hi, guys. Just tuned in, working from home, Lancaster, PA. Well, thank you for joining us. And Jen says, of course it did.
What kind of delicacies you got?
I had the same in my RJI, which is a shame, and it just shows that it's really needed and it might be overdue. So we're going to be getting into all those stories and more, folks. Thank you for joining us for TCP in the morning. The best thing that you can have in your cup. We're going to stop all the banter and get you what you came here for.
What's that?
That is the news, my friend.
Oh, let's go.
Got to give the people what they want.
We're going to bring it from the bottom, bring it to the top.
From the left to the right.
Oh, bust it.
Going to give it to
the
you.
back.
This might be the best news thing you see today. Let's get it.
Time to give the people, yeah. Give the people what they want. And that's the news.
With a shimmy.
Thanks for stopping by. Our first story for today, ACLU of PA sues Lancaster County over the bail practices. This story comes from One United Lancaster. So, The American Civil Liberties Union of Pennsylvania has filed a federal class action lawsuit accusing magisterial district judges in Lancaster County of routinely setting cash bail in ways that violate due process protections. It alleges 4 judges set bail without giving arrested persons an opportunity to be heard or considering their ability to pay, leading to the unconstitutional and unnecessary pretrial incarceration of hundreds of people every year. This is what the ACLU says.
They've been doing this in life.
The suit asked the federal court to block the Lancaster County Prison from detaining individuals on bail unless there has been a constitutionally adequate hearing, and to require the county to provide counsel for indignant defendants at preliminary arraignments. County Solicitor Jacqueline Furish and President Judge David Ashworth, speaking on behalf of the county and its court system, respectively said they would not comment, as the matter involves active litigation. The majority of Lancaster County prison inmates are pre-trial detainees. 69% of them in 2021, according to the prison's data. I will say that again for the people in the back.
That's horrible.
The majority of Lancaster County's inmates are pre-trial detainees, 69% of them in 2021. The ACLU filed its suit on behalf of 7 plaintiffs identified by initials and all others similarly situated. 4 magisterial district judges are named as defendants as the county and county prison warden Shel Sturberger. The judges are Brian Shudzik, Edwin Tobin, Miles Bixler, and Andrew Lefevre.
You know, we had him on the show.
Yeah. Pennsylvania's rules of criminal procedure require judges to consider a broad range of factors in setting bail, including ability to pay. The defendants, however, routinely impose a bail summary after cursory video hearings with individuals who don't have legal counsel at the time the lawsuit alleges. The resulting detention severely disrupts individuals' lives, the suit says, offering examples of lost jobs, interrupted education, and frayed family ties. Under Pennsylvania law, absent extraordinary circumstances, bail can only be imposed to ensure individuals appear for trial. So, folks, here we are. Let's get to the comment section right now before I get into my commentary, because y'all are sounding off and I love it. Thaddeus says, God forbid people learn multiple ways to communicate in America. Good point. Uncle Gary says, try that in U.S. speak English thing on 8th Street and Flagler Street, and we'll be in Santa Maria, curse for life. Them Dade County boys. If that is Dade County. I'm just saying it. But Florida people live just a little bit differently. Sabrina says, people don't want the racist finger pointed at them. The only way to not be racist is to acknowledge some of the racist biases you have. A word. I had to do it myself. You have to be open to change. Nair says, wow. And Nicole says, we pulled this data and had meetings last year and got pushback. Shaking my head. This shows the data that has been pulled and presented is legit. We need to end cash bail. It is only taxing the poor. Hashtag Lancaster end cash bail. Then says $5,000 bail for walking on a 58 bar tab. Come on now. And said Roth should be on that list for the $1 million bails for protesters. Y'all speaking. Sabrina says it's expensive being poor. And then Nicole says unconstitutional $1 million bails. Me personally, I will tell you this, America. I was under the impression that this is going to be just a bunch of Republicans, right? I was like, this is going to be a bunch of Republicans. Just Republicans doing Republican things. How dare these Republicans do these things? We need to stop these Republicans. But then a name popped up. A name that I openly supported. Andrew Lefevre. And this is somebody that solicited our help as a company. And this is the bait and switch that we are frustrated with when it comes to the Democratic Party. Like, how can you solicit our help, especially as black and brown residents of Central PA, but then turn around and, do the hard on crime thing, tough on crime. I'm going to show my peers that I'm not this bleeding heart liberal. And this is the bait and switch that we continuously talk about and that we continuously get frustrated about, because it's all smiles in your face. It's all smiles in your face until they say that they're tired of supporting people that look like you. Whether it's in the news or whether it's in the courtroom from their actions. Next person, please. Because I can go on, but I don't want to rant.
Why not? It's what we do.
Yes.
It's what we do. This is real disheartening to hear from Andrew Lefevre. He was on the show, and we really talked. And he got into it when he got into running. Like, he was met with resistance in February of this past year.
Yeah.
Of some things that I guess he did while he was running. He was disciplined. They found that he violated judicial conduct rules by being a candidate in the May 2019 primary election while he was also on the Democratic committee. So there's some stuff there, but I'm looking like all these other judges too. Like, what do they have going on? What is this private meeting? Like, what are they talking about? How are these new judges getting in there and really implementing change without having the older hierarchy control the things that are going down? Like, we can't act oblivious as if judges don't have like some hierarchy, as if they're not held beholden to some private, quiet rule of thumb.
Right.
Because that's the thing. They don't want to get kicked out or pushed out by judges and never get the chance to be on a Supreme Court or anything like that.
Or not get invited to the thing that the judges are doing, right.
So judges do things as well, and oh man, they need to be held accountable. But I think it needs to. Everybody, all the judges need to be reevaluated, like across the board. Some of these judges have been in there for how long?
But who's going to police the police?
I mean,
Lady Al.
So the judges, they have routinely imposed bail, just that have been ridiculous, right? So here's the thing: Judge Ashworth and his predecessor, Judge Dennis Ranker, they pushed back against advocates' accusations, maintaining that the county judges do in fact consider the totality of defendant's circumstances in making bail determinations. How do you do that, though, if you don't actually see me, talk to me? I've never really been arrested, but I'm pretty sure they don't take an assessment to see what your race is, how much money you make, what kind of job you have. I'm pretty sure they're not checking for that the moment that they take your fingerprints. So that when the judge does have to decide on bail, how do you decide on bail if you don't even know how much money I'm making and how much you're taking away from me by me being here and not being at work? You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that? The $1 million bail that had happened with the protesters a couple summers back. How did you come up with that number? What in your mind made you say, oh yeah, all these people got $1 million that can pay this bail?
$150,000.
How did you? Come on now. So here's the thing. They're hoping that it's going to bring attention to the larger systemic problems that apparently Lancaster County has overall with the bail system. And it's strange because the Constitution says what? It says in the 8th Amendment of the United States, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. And yet, they habitually cross these lines, and we, the people, have no course to keep us safe. Who's going to keep us safe? Who's going to make sure that the laws that are meant for us, that they are being enacted? Who's going to do that? While the judges are doing excessive bail and everything, who's stopping them? Who's holding them accountable?
It should be the voters. Like there's been this running joke, and really not a joke, like an urban legend. Really not an urban legend because it's very much the truth. As young black kids, we would say, if you're going to get in trouble in the city. Don't get in trouble in the county, because it's just going to double your issues. And like I said, it's a running joke, but it's not a joke because it's an urban legend. But it's not an urban legend because it's true.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. It's like these judges. Okay, so we always talked about judges and lawyers and prosecutors. We talked about how they work together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the system's constantly against you.
Yeah.
I know these judges, like they talk, they communicate. All right. So if a judge, and there's cases that they get, that I'm sure sets the fire off in them.
Yep.
So they get these cases, and then they deal with other cases. And these cases may not even be in the same boat.
Right.
But because they're angry and upset from a previous case they just had, they give the anger all out to the next case.
Right.
And depending on who that case is, if black or brown person, it's tough. Where do they go?
And then you have to add on the fact that these county judges have a lighter workload than a lot of these city judges. To the point that it's 50 to 60% lighter, to where some of these judges are working 3 to 4 hours a day, and then they go off and that's that. So you compound that with them just locking people up without the proper due process. You begin to see this machine.
Right. You see how they work their 2-hour workday.
Exactly.
And how they seem so efficient. And why is their incarceration rates? Why are they so successful as lawyers? Why are the lawyers in this district so successful at fighting these?
Get them in, get them out. Whether they got the D or whether they got the R, if they have that attitude of these people are less than, get them in, getting them out, that's what you're going to see regardless of R or D. We have to start challenging our elected officials more, digging more into, especially the candidate, digging more into who they actually are, because we are now in the realm of large digital footprints. If you want to know about somebody, you can find out through their digital footprint, and we should be doing that now, especially with the candidates. Because me personally, I'm more so hurt than pissed off about Andrew.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like this is right.
Betrayed.
And it's the same feeling that I have with Janet, that sense of betrayal. Like, yo, we helped you get into office and voted for you, and then you turn around and say this about people that look like,
right.
So it feels like a complete betrayal. Absolutely. Lady out. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just so disheartening, because now what do? How do we hold them accountable? How do you hold a judge accountable?
And
we can sue them all we want.
How long has this been going on to hold them accountable for it? You know what I mean?
Sue them. They can get the ACLU can sue them all they want. But are they
What's the
going
real
to
repercussions?
actually resign?
Right.
Are they going to go anywhere? Is there going to be some civilian watchdog organizations that's going to watch them now and be sure that they don't continue to do these practices?
Well, we need suburban school mom power. Because when they go to them county schools, when those suburban mom goes to the county schools, when they go to city council,
they get ish done.
Yo, yes.
They're loud enough for long enough.
Yo, yes. We need that energy. Let's do it.
About to hit up Nicole.
Yo, yes.
Yes.
Cole, where you at?
Yes.
Yo,
We need to get
organize.
a committee together.
Yeah.
And we need to do this. I'm down.
Yes. So
Comments.
let's get to the comments. Yes, because y'all are just going off. I love it. So Gary says, when I first moved here, I thought a lot of people here are just not free. It's so nice to see over time some people are fighting for freedom. You are absolutely right, Uncle Gary. We're not going to take it out of context, because Lancaster City, Lancaster, PA, is also the city that ran out, whose black residents, let's make that known, whose black residents ran out the Black Panthers all them years ago. So yes, it's great to see people attaching themselves to real freedom. So no, we know exactly what you mean. Nicole says, how are we going to hold Dems accountable? Jen says, or they don't like your methods. Nicole then says, it's an old boys club. Roth is the leader, and some people going up for bail don't have representation, and that is sickening. And then even with that representation, the public defender's office, work so closely with those judges, and those public defenders want to impress those judges and those other lawyer firms because they want those jobs.
There's no checks and balances. Like if my public defender is very strange, right? So theoretically, the public defender is meant to be my friend and keep me out of jail.
Yeah.
However, the public defender and the judges, well, I'm a public defender, but I want to be a judge one day. And the only way I can do that is if I make nice with other judges and what? Get these, this scum off the street.
Yeah.
How did I become scum? You just, pulled me over with some weed. What now I'm scum of the earth? And they use our living bodies as collateral to make moves to better themselves. There are police officers that have been written up, that have been investigated, that have done all kinds of abuse of power to black and brown people and motorists and everything like that. And you know what they got for their service?
Pension.
Right. They got pensions. They became captains. They got to be detectives. You know what I'm saying? They're leading whole teams. That's what you get. So there's no checks and balances in this system. How is the public defender supposed to be defending me? But then you're going out, you just had brunch with the judge, and y'all already decided what y'all were going to do with all the cases coming in the courtroom that day.
The black and brown body has always been currency in this country, and it still is. Whether we look at sports, whether we look at law or the judicial system, whether we look at politics, whether we look at real estate, the black and brown body has always been some kind of currency. When we think about sports, Pat Riley is Pat Riley because of the black and brown bodies that performed under his tutelage. If we look at certain police chiefs and judges and everything, look at their conviction rate and whatnot.
What is that from?
Right.
Convicting black people. Black and brown bodies. Yeah.
Black and brown bodies has always been currency. We talk about real estate and with redlining and running highways and expressways through black neighborhoods and breaking up those black neighborhoods. Again, the black and brown body in this country has always been currency. It just evolved.
They just got sophisticated with the way they transacted.
I don't know if I'm ready for this at the beginning on a hump day morning.
You know where you came, lady.
I feel like this conversation has gone on long enough.
TCP in the morning.
I mean, we can get to the next one because the next one's about to get even more interesting.
Yeah, let's get to the next one.
Yo, share this stream right now. Because we're about to talk about an after-school Satan club that was denied by the Pennsylvania School Board. And I'm going to talk about why I think there needs to be a Satan after-school Satan club in just about all schools and school districts across the land. All right, I'm in agreement. All right, so
you're about to have all the Christians log off the stream.
I want them to share.
They about to be right there.
Come talk to me. Listen, if I'm wrong, you can come give me divine intervention. That's what I need. All right, so here we go. There was an outrage in Pennsylvania school district this week following a proposal for a new after-school program, a Satan club. The club, suggested by a parent at the Northern Elementary School in Dillsburg, was proposed as an alternative to a faith-based program that already existed at the school. The York Daily Record reported the mom also cited a lack of secular clubs available to students, according to the outlet. Parents and residents from the district packed the high school auditorium for Tuesday's school board meeting to protest the proposal. My friend sent me a thing, and at first I thought it was just another news story, said a 2020 Northern High School graduate. But to have it here in Dillsburg, which is very, right-wing area of the country, the fact that it's already happening, I am incensed. That's what I say. He said that, all right? He said, I'm incensed. All right, so Rebecca and Jeff Paulus attended the board meeting, even though they live outside the Northern School District. We heard they want to put the Satanist club in here, and that's just so obviously oblivious. My son pretty much says that Jesus gives life abundantly. Satan is here to kill and destroy, Rebecca said. What happened to one school district makes a difference in the rest of the area because it could be easy moved. It goes down. We take Bibles and prayers out. Satan automatically comes in, and now we're inviting him. And that's obviously, I'm going to take a stand against the trial. I know people are getting all mad and scary and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But you guys don't know. You guys hear Satan, and what happens?
They see the, well, depending on what show you watch, but they see the red guy with the big muscles and the 2 horns. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. As I drop the seat.
Look, all right, so the guy says they're not interested in converting children to Satanism.
Oh my God.
That's what it says on the site. After school, Satan clubs will focus on free inquiry and rationalism, the scientific basis for which we know what we know about the world and among us. All right, we prefer to they say they prefer to give children an appreciation of the natural wonders surrounding them, not a fear of everlasting otherworldly horrors, the site reads. All right, so I'm gonna read this to you guys. I did my research on this satanic temple. Okay, now a lot of people are getting the Church of Satan confused with the satanic temple. 2 different things. All right, after you guys hear these fundamentals, you tell me why it's so wrong. All right, there are fundamentals that they're going to teach. Their fundamental tenet number 1. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. Tenet 2, the struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. Fundamental 3, one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. 4, the freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. To willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. 5, belief should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's belief. 6, people are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused. 7, every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. It's the name they chose, all right? So they created this in 2013, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody, and if you look at it, there is no space for people that don't believe in Christ and God. There's no space for them. Like, what space do they have to go to be free besides being called, oh, you're an atheist, you're going to hell?
Yeah.
Like, what space is there? So I'm saying if Christians are true Christians, then you're open to other religions, right? This isn't the Church of Satan. They're not teaching to worship Satan. They picked the name because why? Because that's the way anybody who is not with Christianity or religion is deemed.
But it also gets your attention too.
Yeah, it does. And then you look at their fundamentals and you're like, you know what?
It's not so bad.
This is common sense stuff. Like this is what I don't know. I'm gonna go to you guys before I go back.
Lady L.
Well, I think that this is interesting. I think that they should let these kids do whatever they're gonna do, because they're gonna do it anyway, right? So even if the school doesn't, authorize such a club, that doesn't mean that it's gonna stop the parents from just being like, you know what, little Timmy, we're gonna just do it here at the house on Saturdays. Because parents can do that. Parents can absolutely do that and send out invitations and make it happen. You don't even need the school. But I think that doing it at the school gives a better sense of community because all the kids are there together and they're matriculating together simultaneously. However, I think it's interesting. I think it's a good idea. Again, we should be letting the kids explore. I am trying to be journalistic and not allow my personal ideals to have too much leeway on this subject matter. However, I did want to go over some of these comments. All right, Winston's Delicacies, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. He says, nothing can be right about this biblically, not fundamentally. Nair says, I feel people should be more open-minded. We all don't share the same beliefs. Look at all the religions out there. Don't brainwash our children, but allow them to freely learn and choose. And I'm Christian saying this, but I'm not opposed.
Beautifully said.
George, good morning. He says, true democracy gives them the right, whether we like it or not. Danielle, good morning. She says she's responding to Winston's delicacies. She says Christianity isn't the only religion in the world. There are thousands of religions in the world. Religious freedom is a right we are so lucky to have here in the U.S. It should be celebrated in all forms. Sounds like she's on the go for it happening at the school. Jen, our school board director, good morning. She says, it's like how paganism was literally demonized by Christianity. I look at it very differently now. Sabrina, good morning. She says only Satanists that are bad are the ones who leave the church and form their own cults. Danielle says, she's responding to Jen. She says, and then Christians stole all of the pagan rituals and traditions. Laughing out loud.
I feel like Winston.
Watch Vikings.
Right. Winston says, this I know, but again, this is my opinion. Marlo, good morning. Marlo of Columbia's Barbershop. He says, religion is a form of segregation. Sabrina says, freedom of religion is freedom to choose your faith or lack thereof. Thaddeus says, in America, any belief system outside of Christianity, even other Judaish beliefs, is viewed as pagan, and that by itself.
It's a crazy.
Winston says Satan is a liar. He needs to be defeated, not followed. All right, and Key, good morning, Key. She says if you allow one sector, you need to allow the other. All right, all right.
Yes.
Listen, I love the comments, y'all. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, Jen said protect the baby souls. Kirsten said I'm going to get you, Death. Danielle said if there could be Christian clubs, Satanist clubs should be allowed too. There are over 3,000 religions practiced in the world. Only 60% of people in the U.S. Identify as Christian. We need to accept all religions. Satanism is actually a really cool religion. Yes, all right, so about them, if you go to the website, the mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense, oppose injustice, and undertake noble pursuits. All right, they have publicly confronted hate groups. They have fought for the abolition of corporal punishment in public schools, applied for equal representation when religious installations are placed on public property, provided religious exemption and legal protection against laws that unscientifically restrict women's reproductive autonomy, exposed harmful pseudo-scientific practitioners in mental health care, and they organize all these clubs and stuff. They're just like a religion. They are a religion. I don't want to say
don't let the name fool you into thinking it's a bad thing.
All right, so the Church of Satan was started way back in the 1960s, okay? This was started in 2013. There's a big difference. All right, so don't be quick to shoot it down. As Christians, you're supposed to be open. And you trust in God, right?
Yeah.
You trust in God you believe in your faith, you have faith in your religion, and it's okay for other people to have faith in theirs, right?
To the folks, I'm going to propose this question to you. What kind of religion or religious sect would you rather be a part of? One that uses the name of God to oppress people that look like you, or one that expresses and exudes self-expression, love, and kindness. I mean, like one that says, just because you love a person, that makes you less of a person. That means that you're disinvited into this religion, into this religious sect. Honestly, some of you well-to-do Christians make it very, very easy. Make it very, very easy for folks to choose the opposite. Make it very, very easy because of these strong beliefs. Some of which were man-made in the name of oppression, like calling other religions like voodoo. I'm calling it witchcraft. When you talk about like actual witchcraft and everything like that, and us as a society looking at it as is some insane thing that shouldn't be talked about and sweep it under the rug. Oh my gosh, let me clutch my pearls. the witches are coming. Like is this not does not some parts of Christianity like scream those racist undertones that we hear loud and clear today?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it a bunch of Christians that are like, the Muslims are coming. The Muslims are coming. But yet, the Satan Club is the issue. They'll be the first ones to say freedom of religion. I should be able to read my Bible in class. I should be able to walk around school with my Bible. Quote Joseph, John, Jacob, and Judah.
Listen,
Trying to go to all the J's.
I stuck with Jesus.
I wouldn't be surprised if we had some of these after-school soccer moms start having, this becomes the new CRT. This starts popping up, right? Oh, Satan clubs, and now we got legislation against having these demonic type groups in our schools. That'll be the next thing, right? Because here's the thing. People who are in power, and especially people who are in power who say that they are a Christian, they're going to do what they want to do. And they want to keep that power as much as they can. So if that means that they got to stop every group that's going to take away from their Christian values, that's what they're going to do. And I just see this being a bigger issue. And it's crazy because what if this was not the Satan Club, but what if they were just trying to divide all the different Christian sects and said that you can't do it, you can only do it under Catholicism. You can't have, an evangelical group. You can't have a Baptist group. You can't have an AMN group. You can't have a Methodist group. You can only do a Catholic group. What if that then became the thing? Because Catholicism is the only original origin of Christianity that some people believe. So then what do you do when that then becomes the expectation that you can't be a part of any other Christian sect except Catholicism?
Right.
Because Christianity in itself is so vast. You can go to 8 different churches and have the same scripture and it's 45 different messages.
And everybody dressed different.
Yep. Yep.
Everybody preach different too.
Yep.
Right? I remember I sat in a Mormon church and I never been in a church where I didn't know I couldn't move. Like everybody just sat there. There was no music. It was strange, and it was like being in a classroom. It was strange.
And I'm not going to lie, I liked it. I liked it. I was like, I kind of like this Mormon church. Like they broke off into like Christian classes and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, the sermon was 5 minutes. I was like,
time to go home.
That's what I thought. No, we're breaking off in the group.
No, I broke up in the breakout session just to talk about God. I was like, okay. This is like a conference. All right.
Right. So let's check this out. So Danielle says everyone interprets the Bible differently. That is correct. Yeah. So why can't they interpret who the creator is differently? Why can't they interpret how they choose or what they choose to lead their lives differently?
Yeah, it's the golden rule. He who controls the gold rules. Jen says, Danielle, yep, take the colonizer's lens off, and Christianity has separated so many from their beliefs. She is responding to some comments. Winston says Satan is a liar. He needs to be defeated, not followed. And then Rebecca says, sounds like everything I fight for. Also, Jen, amazing event on Sunday. We cannot wait to go to the next one. Jen says, Whitney Lupton, I'm sad you couldn't stay on Sunday. Gary says, Free PA is lobbying hard to get Amish people on board. To me, that's like converging from Christianity to worshiping MAGA Satan. That's actually accurate.
PA does have the Amish on board. Yo, my thing is, look, if you look at the Satanic Temple, like, you look at them, some of their views are a whole lot better than some of the Republicans. Like, some of the GOPers, like, they're not trying to take away women's rights. Like, it's things that they're advocating for. Like, so, once you get past the name, the name that when you hear it, what pops into your head?
Evil,
Satan Club?
bad things.
Yep. Once you hear Satan, you're like,
oh no, not the devil.
Not the devil. Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? Come here. Let me pray for you. You know what I mean? And like, it's just like, whoa, wait a minute. What is Satan? Who's saying? Like, there's so many different stories, and for those that continue to be oblivious to everything else, like, choose to have faith in your religion. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody can have faith in, but like, people come from all different parts of the earth. Like, you think everybody worships the same person? And you think just because these people on this side of the world never even knew our God, you think they're going to go to hell because of that? Because they don't know Jesus?
Apparently.
You know, like.
But isn't that a part of Christianity, though? Then your job is to go out to the other part of the world and convince them that, you know, whatever they're doing is wrong and what you got is right.
To finish off the comments, Marlo said it's made to divide people. Jen says, I believe in Jesus, and I'm increasingly alarmed at what Christians do in his name. Same here, Jen. If it separates them from the personal truths as spirit, it's not okay with me. Yeah. Kirsten says, preach. Great to see you this morning, Kirsten. Thaddeus says, as a Christian, I've seen just as much Satan in the churches as in the streets. Exactly, Thaddeus, because we didn't even bring up Priestgate. But Rebecca says, oh, those moms have been doing it, been having those prayer meetings. Sabrina says, the right loves to cancel everyone that doesn't align with them and rules for thee, not for me. Danielle says, everyone interprets the Bible differently. And Uncle Gary says, Satan worshipers were prosecuted and killed if they did not convert to Catholicism. Marlo says religion is a tool to divide people, just as there are so many religions that use the same Bible, but neither of them agree with each other. Y'all preaching this morning. George says, I will always believe that there's a natural order. Indeed, doing right should not require our God's wrath labeled with any religion. I know quite a few people who aren't religious, but always do the right thing naturally. Say it again. Teresa, good morning. She says, if you need religion to be a good person, you were never a good person. My goodness. And then she says, as a Satanist, there are so many things misunderstood about us. I believe it. Rebecca says the Satan Club needs a PR firm to do a rebrand. And then Teresa says he is a metaphor, an excuse to avoid accountability. Oh, look. We got to get to these next stories, but my God. My God.
I'm glad we had this talk today.
Yeah, in the comments today.
Yes. Y'all, look.
Keep it coming, yo. I love it.
I didn't even know Teresa, I didn't even know she watched the show.
Look, share the stream.
I didn't even know Kirsten watched the show. I didn't even know. Sheesh.
Well, Lady L, if you can take us to our next story, because I guess the devil made the people do this.
Oh, yeah, that's okay because, yeah, it is what it is, right?
It is the devil. That's what it is.
Right, because there's no way Christians would do this.
No, not at all.
Because about 100,000 Detroit residents had lost their homes to foreclosures because the city had overcharged them for property taxes. The city owned up to the mistake, but the residents are still waiting to be reimbursed 5 years later. Yes. So Detroit owes the mostly black residents about $600 million. Between 2010 and 2016, the city assesses properties at 85% of their market value, going against state laws. The Michigan Constitution prohibits properties from being assessed at more than 50% of its market value. So the grassroots organization, the Coalition for Property Taxes, has been advocating for Detroit to repay residents since 2017. They have even helped the city by drafting proposals, but some city leaders have rejected their plans, leaving the hundreds of thousands of residents who lost their homes in limbo. So here's the thing. The disparity between white and black home ownership is a key driver and a factor of the racial wealth gap in the nation. U.S. Census data shows about 75% of white Americans own homes, while the rate among black Americans is 44%. Wayne County's majority black municipalities in Detroit, Highland Park, and Instinker have a higher foreclosure rate than the mostly white localities. Looking to get swift and meaningful compensation for residents, the Coalition for Property Tax Justice surveyed those impacted and asked them how they would like to be repaid. City leaders have tentatively agreed to spend just 1% or $6 million on resources for overbilled residents. The organization released a survey report on April 14th, hoping to get a plan rolling, but it may have remained stalled. Most of the residents surveyed want cash payments, but the mayor's office contends that Michigan law bars the city from providing cash payments or tax credits. Advocates disagree and call on the state attorney general to review the law. Detroit Council member Marie Sheffield, who has also advocated for the residents to be repaid, said that council is working with the state legislature to review laws that would block them from being reimbursed. So this is crazy. So essentially, Detroit, it's weird. So now you're worried about the Michigan law and how it says you can't give cash payments or tax credits.
But what about the law that you broke when you overtaxed the people?
That part. The law says you can't do it more than 50% of the worth of the property. Y'all did it at 85% of the worth of the property.
But now the law says you can't give cash. Man, listen.
And now you're saying, oh, well, hold on, we can't do that. Are you serious? You, city of Detroit, have been breaking the law for years. And now you got the nerve to say, oh, well, hold on, we can't break any more laws? Or that's your boundary. We'll break the laws to get the money. We're not going to break the laws to give you your own money back. Y'all done took these people, y'all stole these homes. If this ain't a new type of eminent domain, I don't know what is.
These are the shackles of bureaucracy, right? This is what happens when you allow people to make rules that serve themselves, right? I can use the rule to always serve myself, but I'm always changing the rules to benefit myself. I think it's like I said, it's the muck of bureaucracy that we kind of get stuck in the American politics. And
so here's the thing, right? So they're saying they have other ideas, right? Maybe they could do some home repairs, some home repair grants. Maybe they could just give them houses or some kind of side lots from the land bank that people can build on, and even Section 8 voucher. Now, here's the thing. Maybe I didn't buy my house. Maybe my house was given to me by my great-grandparent. And by you having this tax hike, I couldn't afford it. I lost the house. Let me tell you what I'm not getting on Section 8.
Generational wealth.
That and that original 5-7-bedroom house that I had. I'm not getting that back. Right? How are you setting me up to be where I was already at before you stole from me? That's what we're talking about. Getting these people set back up before you stole from them. Not giving them some vouchers or whatever for some repair grants. And then what? You tell me that there's no money left? You tell me that the repairs that I need don't qualify for this repair grant? Because that's a thing too. Oh, well, I need my pipes fixed. Oh, well, this repair grant only covers water damage. Oh, well, I need my roof done. Oh, well, this grant only covers, the steps outside. Come on now, gentlemen.
Yeah, look, I want to say over the last 15 years, black home ownership has declined more dramatically than for any other racial or ethnic group in the United States. In 2019, the black home ownership rate was about as low as it was in the 1960s when private race-based discrimination was legal. How do we explain that?
I hate to laugh, but
how?
You can't.
How do we explain it?
You can't explain that.
Don't tell me that the systematic racism didn't work.
Make
Don't
America
tell me that redlining didn't
again.
work. Don't tell me that everything that was done. Don't tell me it didn't work.
Make
because
America
here we are.
great again.
We're
back to
1960s.
1960 home ownership. Make America great again. This is what they wanted for us. Sorry.
But yeah, we can. No, it's okay. But yet, we continue to think everything's okay. That we're moving forward. That we have bigger stories, bigger fish to fry. Like we're still in the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement began in the 1960s till still going on today. All right, so there's no end date on the civil rights movement. And shouldn't say from the mid 1960s or 1960 to 65. The civil rights movement is still going on today because we're still trying to fix these wrongs and we're still trying to right wrongs.
Yeah.
In Virginia, they're finally getting rid of some of the freaking medical practices still. You know, medical practices that diagnoses you based off your race. Like, how do you diagnose somebody off their race?
Right.
Your kidneys are good. You're black. You're stronger. You're tougher.
And that's a real story too.
Like, you guys think I'm joking? Like, this is
That's a real story. Like in 2022. In 2022, there's a little side note. In 2022, there's this West Virginia inmate that's like, look, take the designation off that black people have different kidneys than white people, because that designation is actually killing me because I'm not getting the correct dosage of medication that I need. And it's insane that, like, somebody has to say that, like, hey, all people have the same kidneys.
No, you're black. Your kidneys are stronger.
Like, yo, it's different.
But that's crazy, because then it's like, if I ask you for reparations, you're going to say, oh, well, you can't prove to me reparations, but you're going to use an idea of genetic disposition of my black identity to say that it makes me more of a thing, but it doesn't translate into reparations.
Well, the argument can only benefit the powers that be. You know, this is a classic example of how, like, you know, you'll go to a restaurant or something like that, and they'll charge you double. Like, they'll charge your meal twice. You know, you go home and everything. You may not find out about a day or two later. And then you call that restaurant and say, hey, you actually charged me for the meal twice. And they say, oh, okay, we'll get that money to you. But it'll take 5 to 7 business days. And it's like, wait. It took 5 to 7 seconds to take the money. Why does it take so long
to give it back?
Right,
why can't I just come in and get the money from you today?
Exactly. That's because there's this whole saving face thing. We know we made a mistake, but we don't want to eat the crow. We don't want to have no accountability at all. So then we're going to do this whole rigmarole, and hopefully, because how long it takes, or because of the obstructions or obstacles we put in front of you, you'll just lose interest. Or we draw it out so long that by the end of it, you just want this to be over, so you accept the crumbs that we give you. We're just going to exhaust you and outspend you because we know that we can.
Right.
This tactic is as American as apple pie. Like, it's something that is happening in neighborhoods, just not in Detroit. This is happening in Columbia, Pennsylvania as well. So it's not some far gone thing. Right. Oh, shame on Michigan. They're just treating their people so ill. No.
It's in your backyard.
Right. And to a lot of people's point, Flint still got dirty effing water. Still.
Yeah, you want to try and tax people, overtax people, and you still ain't fixed the water problem.
And then my thing is like the disgusting thing is like, where are the people that were supposed to speak up? Did they get fired?
Where's the good person in the room?
Right. Did they get displaced? Or is this one of those, you know, the whole batch is bad?
Right. Maybe they got paid to look away.
But where did the money go?
It went to their pockets.
Where you see what I'm saying? Like, if you consciously were overcharging people because the law says you can only do 50%, y'all chose 85%.
And at some point, somebody seeing these books and seeing that the projections are
right,
lower than the money we're making.
Y'all know that this was going on. Right. And now, instead of giving the people their money back, you're saying, oh, we'll give you small business assistance. I don't want that. Oh, we can give you Section 8 vouchers. I don't want that. I want enough money to get my house back. That's what I want. Or I want enough money to be in a situation where I can get a better house. Right? Like, think about what that foreclosure did to those people's, to their credit.
Right. How that affected mental health. How that affected them for the next 5 to 10 years. Right.
I ain't go buy a house. Like, how many of these people fell into an addiction? Or became alcoholics? How many of these people are living out on the street and they have no access to this right now?
Right.
They don't know. How are they supposed to get these funds? How are they supposed to apply? How are they supposed to come with the right paperwork to prove it? Because you know what they're going to ask for. Yep. Can we get proof?
Yep.
Can we get proof? I'm sorry, I've been living on the street the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I know where all my stuff is, but
How am I going to give you proof of something?
I lost
that
my
don't
storage.
exist?
I lost this. I lost that. I didn't have a job. I had to sell my car.
Right. Things happen.
The trickle down effects of negative response.
To the comment section.
They just need to do a class action suit. I just wanted to put that out there.
Danielle says, this is abhorrent. Teresa says, and I bet they still don't have clean water. Exactly. LaRock says, that's enough to buy the whole damn city. Yeah. Danielle says, they did this on purpose so that investors could take over the properties. I'm convinced. Ooh, that's a great point. LaRock says, Detroit could literally be the first black-owned city in modern times if the judicial system was built for everyone and provided justice. Yeah. Danielle says, I don't believe no one knew they were overcharging. Tax statements go through so many hands before sent out, and none of the mortgage company raised an eye. And that's what I'm saying right there.
Saying that, yeah.
Exactly. And then Teresa, again, doubling down on that, says, right, someone knew and didn't say a damn thing. And then LaRock triplicates on that and says, facts. They've been more than 1/3 of the city is privately owned. So there you go right there. Teresa says that's how they take Native American land like this and then keep it within their grasps. Barack says, funny, they always trying to figure out how to pay folks. Like, give me my damn money. No, I don't want resources that don't equate to that money and the interest on it. Give me my ish. Call J.G. Wentworth. It's my money, and I need it now.
877.
Call J.G. Wentworth. George says, man, Detroit like that friend we always have who's always broke, bankrupt, bad credit, but always making big moves. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about 25% of my social media feed. Teresa says, and we supposed to feel grateful for it, for the crumbs. Exactly. Thaddeus says white-collar crimes are never prosecuted as they should be, even though they affect far greater numbers of people. Yes, I would agree with that because I think that Bernie Madoff deserved a death penalty. I may be in the minority of that, but the lives that he affected and lives that he has taken away deserve a death penalty.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
There are large, long-term repercussions for what people's money means to them.
Generationally mess people up.
Right.
You know, just like a murder, there's that shock, awe, and that sense of absence. Just like a murder. So,
people killed themselves.
Right. Teresa says, I was watching something on this last night. They brought that land for cents on the dollar, and that is disgusting. And then says Taquan Wright, problems on top of problems, and this is what they want to give. And says archaic and erroneous. Thaddeus says scientifically race doesn't exist, but let's use race for science. Danielle says, and then they'll tell you it's your bank when in reality an ACH payment can't be sent same day depending on time of day or next business day. That sounds like Danielle's a realtor. Sounds like she knows what she's talking about. We got to bring you on sometime soon so that we can have those discussions so that our folks, everybody that's watching, knows exactly what they have to do, especially when purchasing a home or selling their home. Sabrina, and then Sarge can take over the rest of the comments. Sabrina says, Grey's Anatomy touched on the subject of how they gauge when black people need a kidney differently than white people. Wow. Wow.
Remember that? Do you remember that episode? I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys are Grays. You guys aren't Grays fans.
You watch everything.
Except the things that you guys watch. Apparently. But no, it's I'm sorry. I was trying to flip the rest of the comments because they're not showing up over here to read.
Oh, well, I got them. Venus, Dr. Rick said, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Dr. Ricks. And Gary says, sorry to tell you guys, but this is happening everywhere. It's part of our and acquainted infrastructure problem. Over at Bank Creek, the people who live in the townhouse condos, Northfield residents, have to fight every year for a tax. If you don't agree with the county's assessed value, you can challenge it through the property tax appeal process, also known as a property tax protest. A successful appeal results in lower appraised value and lower property taxes. Speak on it. Speak on it. Love it.
I can take it from there.
All right.
All right. Teresa says it happens more in low-income communities, marginalized communities. And Gary, he said for property tax reassessment, Serena says they know we miscalculate our taxes. Someone knew.
Yeah.
And LaRock and Venus both said 877 cash now.
I need my money now.
Cash now.
Folks, we are going to keep it moving. It is that 9 o'clock hour. Want to let you know that TCP in the morning is brought to you by Busy Bodies Cafe. Lady L, can you tell the folks more about Busy Bodies?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Busy Bodies Play Cafe is an interactive children's fun play center. Yeah, so get on down to the shops at Rockville and visit the wonderful people over at Busy Bodies Play Cafe. They have special groups and arts and crafts and activities, and they have visitors coming to do workshops and all kinds of things with the little ones. It's especially formulated for children 1 to 6 year olds. Go on ahead and reach out to them and schedule your next play day over at Busy Bodies Play Cafe. Over to the desk.
All right.
So, before we go to the next door.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I just want to tell everybody, I'm going to be acting in Raisin in the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
We went on vacation and all that stuff went down.
Yeah, that is true.
Been real busy, So yeah, I just want to tell you guys that.
Yeah.
Good news.
So when is the big premiere date?
Tickets go on sale May 17th. The play begins June 17th. I believe it's June 17th through the 23rd.
Dig it.
Or June 6th, June 17th through the 23rd. So look for tickets coming out. I hope to see y'all there.
Dig it. So folks, our next story, we are going to go down a investigative rabbit hole here. So this story, amazing investigative piece from Spotlight PA. If you are not subscribed to spotlightpa.org, I highly suggest you do it. You want to talk about the folks that are doing the work, the watchdog work, and holding our public officials accountable. These folks at Spotlight PA are doing the work. Just to let you know, Spotlight PA is an independent, nonpartisan newsroom powered by the Philadelphia Inquirer in partnership with Penn Live and the Patriot, Trib Live, and the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, as well as WITF Public Media. So it is a collection of media companies that serve as our watchdog institution here in Central PA. So, well, in Pennsylvania, period. So, a long-awaited transparency bill that would make legislative expenses accessible online for easy public viewing unanimously cleared a key state House of Representative panel last week. This comes from Representative Scott Conklin. He says, how can anyone be against it? The bill, introduced by Representative Keith Gillespie, who is a Republican from York, would require legislators and staff in both the state and House to post their expenses online on a quarterly basis, including reimbursements for meals, travel, office furniture, and overnight stays in Harrisburg. That expense information, according to the bill, would be searchable and would have to include the reason the expense was incurred, who incurred it, and which legislative account was used to provide the reimbursement. The full state House could vote on the proposal as early as May. If approved by that, it will go on to the state House and the bill, and it could go on to the state Senate, and the bill could take effect in January 2023. So, folks, as it stands now, the public can request information on legislative expenses through the state's public records law, but getting those documents take weeks and sometimes longer if there is a dispute over their access. The legislative push to post expenses online came after an investigative series last year by the caucus, and Spotlight PA documented how the Pennsylvania General Assembly, one of the largest and most expensive full-time legislators in the country, spent hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars with little or no transparency. The investigation revealed that the legislators spent $203 million from 2017 through 2020 just to feed, house, transport, and provide rental offices and other perks for lawmakers and their staff. 1 in every 10 of those dollars went into lawmakers' pockets in the form of reimbursements for meals, mileage subsidies, per diems, and other expenses as well. Let me also add the millions and millions of dollars that these politicians are receiving from these law firms.
Nuts.
Our offices are then made up of those same people that work at those law firms. So, folks, again, Pennsylvania being one of the most largest and most expensive full-time legislators, because not everywhere is being a legislator full-time. But with legislators, they get a staff. And it's not like it's a skeleton staff. Like, they get about 6 people, and then there's no oversight on their expenses. So if somebody said, "Hey, here's a card, use it," but you don't have to document anything. After a while, even if it wasn't your intention to abuse it, after a while,
You're abusing it.
you're going to. You are going to. And without this oversight, there's nothing, nobody, or anything to hold you accountable. That's why, with folks that have been in office for, I don't know, let's say 30 years, I have a real concern with. Because working at the Capitol, you just seen how certain people operated different ways. And we're not even getting into, the hotel suites that are rented out, the parties, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex trafficking. Not getting into all of that and taxpayers flipping the bill. Shout out to Spotlight PA for blowing this up and uncovering it. We are happy to bring this story to you. Charge.
I want to say $203 million from 2017 through 2020, just to feed, house, and transport, and provide rental offices and other perks for lawmakers and their staff. 1 in every 10 of those dollars went in the lawmakers' pockets in the form of reimbursement for meals, mileage, subsidies, per diems, and other expenses. Are you kidding me? Prior to COVID, teachers were spending their own money to buy what?
Supplies, books.
Teachers had to spend their own money to buy supplies and books, yet they have their own money. Mind you, they get paid a crazy amount of money to be a legislator. Thank you so much. We need you. We appreciate you. Are they more important than teachers?
Nah.
Do our teachers do we feed them? Do we house them? Do we clothe them? Do we take care of them when they have to travel from house to house trying to get some paperwork filled out or talk to parents about some stuff? We don't.
Speak on it, bro.
So where are we at? They make $100 and some odd $1,000 a year. All right, that right there is enough to pay for your travels. That's why you get paid this money for your job to be able to travel and go here and here and here. You don't need the government. You don't need taxpayers to fork your bill. They're already forking your salary.
Yeah.
They're paying you that much money so you have the freedom and you're able to move around because it costs more money. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
So here's the thing. Even during this investigation, both chambers often redact key information about their expenses. Most notably, the more detailed explanation of the expenses. And even unredacted records often don't tell the full story, as lawmakers and staff sometimes use vague descriptions to explain their purchases. Had a meeting.
But
tell me more. Who's the meeting with? What did y'all talk about?
That's
How does this lead to the next thing?
Because like when you apply for grants and like have to tell the grantor like, oh, okay, I spent money on this, spent money on that, spent money on this, spent money on that. Here's a receipt and everything. Like it's very, very meticulous. And if there's any money that is unaccounted for, if there's a purchase that's unaccounted for, like it'll be difficult for you to get that grant the next year.
Get that card.
Right, but then to just so freely just have this happen, like, yeah, go ahead, Lady Al.
So, and not just that, but there's some other good things that are happening, like a gift ban to public officials, also as well as some bills that would rein in the influence of lobbyists. Because I don't quite understand why lobbyists are at the Capitol and why they are playing this role of middleman, but they don't represent the American man. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So these are just some things that I think that I'm excited that they're finally looking into. I believe that right after COVID had hit and they showed us, we were able to find and see what our representatives have been spending during COVID. We got to see how much money they spent on food, how much money they spent on lodging, how much money they spent on some other things. Like, we got to go through this list and be like, how'd you spend this much money? There were some officials that had spent $60,000, $70,000. And then you had other ones that only spent $2,500.
Yeah.
What are they doing with their pay money? I'm sorry. Like, what are they doing with it?
Pocketing it.
Setting their kids up.
Right. Putting it in a high-yielding savings account.
Investing in the stocks.
Right. So the lobbyists.
That part too.
So the lobbyists matter more.
Getting the cannabis business ready.
Yeah. And is that part too?
Or trying to stall it if you're into prison building.
Yeah. So we're going to keep it in the legislative mindset here with our next story, but we're going to take it to the federal level. So, Sarge.
All right, our next story. So, President Biden, old back Biden.
Yeah, hashtag lady, yeah.
All right. So, he told the Congressional Hispanic Caucus he's looking at forgiving some federal student loan debt.
Hey.
We know he BSing. He told us the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
That's how he got known.
That's because he's trying to get that midterm vote. Don't give it to him.
How come he didn't go to the Black Caucus? He went to the Hispanic Caucus. Because the Black Caucus was like, yo, dog,
because he already told us the lie. He told us the lie.
Right now, he got a lot of some other colored people.
Said, dang, there's some more brown people.
And if this does not work with the Hispanic people, he's going to the Asian people next.
Yeah. Get ready.
The Asian people ain't going to believe him. I'm like,
no, they're not. Especially after
we've seen this song in
Right. You lie to the black people. You lie to the Hispanic people.
Latinos.
No, sir.
Nah, sorry, sir.
So President Biden is looking at difficult options to forgive an unspecified but substantial amount of federal student loan debt, a move that would thrill some of his most loyal supporters and financially strapped students nationwide. But is a departure from campaign pledges to provide limited relief. The president shared his plans during a 90-minute White House meeting Monday with members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Participants in the exchange. The move could affect more than 43 million borrowers who hold more than $1.6 trillion in federal student loan debt, the second largest debt held by Americans behind mortgages. Representative Tony Cardenas, Democrat of California, who attended the meeting, said the president is open to forgiving debt for college students, regardless of whether they attended a public or private institutions. BS. The president never mentioned an amount, nor did the president say that he was going to wipe out all student debt, Cardenas said. He did a dialogue with us about the differential between young people who went to public schools or private schools, and we CHC members said he should focus on both. He said, okay, good to know. Cardenas said he reiterated to Mr. Biden that the Hispanic Caucus supports executive action that would forgive at least $10,000 in college debt if Congress can pass legislation doing so. In response, Cardenas said the president smiled and said, you're going to like what I do on that. I'm looking to do something on that, and I think you're going to like what I do.
What in the Trump
Now, hold on, let me finish. Right? That's what
I forgot he is like 80 years old.
I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat what the president said when Cardenas asked that, okay? President said, you're going to like what I do. I'm looking to do something on that, and I think you're going to like what I do. And then that was it. So we're looking at it from a vantage point of if they needed help getting through college and if they took on debt. It shouldn't matter, Cardenas had it. Earlier this month, the White House said it is extending a pandemic-era pause on federal student loan payments through August 31st, a move that has helped roughly 41 million borrowers save $5 billion in interest payments a month, except that money has now gone to food because the cost of inflation has risen crazy. So at the White House press briefing on Monday, Press Secretary Jen Psaki reiterated that the administration would make a decision about canceling some student debt between now and the end of August, or the pause would be extended further. All right, I'm going to stop right there real quick because we are having issues getting rid of this student loan debt. And who's at war right now?
Ukraine and Russia.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sarge. Bring the numbers up. How much
money has the U.S. given to Ukraine? All right. Now, does anybody know?
Of course not. We're waiting for you. You're the numbers guy.
All right. So I want to make sure I'm right in case it just went up. We keep giving them more and more money. All right. So as of right now, the numbers oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, we continue to give them money and give them weapons, give them all this thing. Since 2014, the United States has provided more than $6.1 billion in security assistance for training and equipment to help Ukraine. Since 2014. You want to know how well that $6.1 billion did?
How well?
Oh, I mean, the country's pretty much toppled. I mean, they're fighting. They're fighting, right?
Yeah.
They're fighting, but we continue to fork out money yet not handle our problems that we have in our own house. How do we have money to afford this?
Yeah.
Look, we're sending them weapons. We're sending them all these different things. Yet we can't get rid of get rid of student loan debt.
The U.S. has given Ukraine $2 billion since the beginning of the Biden administration.
So earlier this month,
backbiting us again.
Earlier this month, the White House said that it would be extending the pandemic era pause on federal student loan payments through August 31st. A move that has helped, 41 million borrowers. So I mean, I think that I'm with Sarge on this one. I think that this might be a political tactic because the outlook for the Dems for this upcoming midterm election,
terrible.
It's really looking like it's about to be a bloodbath, and it's about to be a complete slaughter. However, we have seen this kind of momentum happen before when this was just a short 2 years ago with the Dems, and they were talking about, here comes the blue wave. The blue wave is coming, and it was more like a blue trickle.
Right.
So I mean, the same could happen. I doubt it. Because there's going to be such a hard referendum against Joe Biden, and then stuff like this, and I was a Biden guy, but stuff like this dangling of the carrot and everything like that is going to make people like me start pulling back and have a reserve because I was rocking out with you and told other people who respect me to rock out with you as well. Now, when you start acting up, Mr. Biden, or start these false promises, they're not coming to you and saying, yo, Joe, what's up? They're coming to me and be like, yo, you told me to vote for Bull. You said that Bull was going to do X, Y, and Z, and he didn't. That makes me look bad now. Mm-hmm. And I would be stupid to think that I'm the only person in America that is experiencing this right now.
Feels like it.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is on all levels, local, state, and federal as well.
Yeah. But you know what I do want to say, though? The GOP isn't doing anything to reel people in. They're not doing anything to pick up the slack for Biden.
They're just not letting the Dems win.
They don't care.
But they're not losing people. Like Biden is losing people.
So you're saying you won't vote then? Like, what do you? My thing is what do you do?
Right.
What do you do?
There are a number of people who aren't going to vote. Midterm elections suck.
So then what
there
happens?
are a number of people who just don't vote because they also don't know that it's midterm elections.
I think it's we still have to vote. We have to. Yeah. We have to. Even if we have to wait till we get another candidate comes in. We have to support the best candidate. We have to support. Oh man, we can't just not have no voice.
No,
I agree with you.
We
though,
can't.
but do you have
that's
a
how
voice?
it happens every year. That's how the Republicans take over.
Do you want me to punch you in the face or punch you in the stomach?
You can punch me wherever. It won't hurt.
But that's the thing. That's what the voting process is like because we don't want either of these candidates. You know who
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Bernie Sanders.
But we still have to do it, though.
It's the lesser of two
No,
good.
we don't have to do it because voting is a privilege.
So then we don't vote, and the GOP votes with their 30%.
They do it anyway.
All right, that's because we have this mindset of not voting. We don't do it. We get mad. So we don't vote.
Plus, also they the GOP has a more dedicated base,
voter base.
Like if you
Because they
think
take
about
care
it,
of
It's
their
older.
base. They
It's
not
also-
like the
They
Dems.
don't-
Dalen Carey.
they
It's also
don't-
older.
They don't take care because like if you really look at it like look at the political ads that are going up right now on the GOP side. Like we're seeing people say, "Oh, I got endorsed by Trump." Like this is a twice impeached failed president, one-term president. Like with those check marks, twice impeached, one-term president, you would think, okay, no, let's try to get as far away from this guy as possible. But no, that's not the case. I really do believe the true identity of America is showing its face now. And the genie is out of the bottle, and we're not going back. And with diet racists like Joe Biden within the Democratic Party, they are going to have to not eradicated, but they're going to have to be voted out, or then the Dems are going to see more bloodbaths, and they're going to see less of our participation because, Sarge, not everybody thinks like, oh, I need to vote. There's a lot of people who casted their first vote in 2007 for Barack Obama.
Right.
Like, so voting isn't so entrenched in them. Unlike myself, I've been voting with my mom ever since the 80s. So yeah, I'm a vote. It may be third party, but I'm going to make sure that my voice is heard. When that third party person has 300, I'm one of that 300, and I have no problem with that. Because I'm going to let my voice be heard. It may not be the popular choice, but...
Well, I'm going to bring it full circle to our second story of the day and let you know that, it doesn't matter who you vote for. If you are a child of God, it's all good. Because you are running with the Lord.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter who's in office because you got Jesus. We're going to just see signs for Jesus. I voted for Jesus. That's what we're going to start seeing.
Voting for Jesus.
No, we already see that. Jesus, I saw a Jesus/Trump 2020 sign. Yeah. So Gary says, I trust somebody like Mike Sterler to be in a job for 30 years versus the guy who leaves after 8 years and become the lobbyist and makes $300K a year. That part. George says, wish that bill could give me hope, but it doesn't. It takes the press/media months to get info under the Freedom of Information Act. What type of priority will Joe Blow citizens get? We pay for all this ish, but are basically clueless as to what they do with our money. I'm still convinced that ex-president stuffed millions into his pocket. Indeed.
For sure.
Thaddeus says military and government contractors has all kinds of rules to prevent unethical practices, but our politicians don't have the same rules. Gary says, Lady L, you talk less about Biden. When Trump was president, are you lobbying to bring back Trump? Uncle Gary, at times, I think so. LaRock says, why? Why were you riding for Biden in the first place? You were literally born into a time when he constructed policy to destroy you before you ever had a chance.
So you voted Trump, LaRock. Is that what you're saying? You voted Trump.
I'm saying that, I was like, the Obama years changed him. He knew that he was up against.
You had that Obama hope.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then LaRock says, say that. Lady L. Danielle says, yeah, I agree. We push a narrative onto ourselves that our vote doesn't count. But if black and brown people showed out every election day from local to federal, we would soon have our way. And to that point, Danielle, I think that's why they're having all of these voting challenges and making voting harder, because they see that same thing happening. Corinne says, if you don't vote, being a Dem, we're going to be right back with a Trump clone again. We the Dems helped him get elected by not voting that year because it would have had been Hillary. That point, and to that point, it's going to have to take the Dems in the primary to bring about better candidates.
Yep.
LaRock says, no, the GOP does not. They are more scientific about how they use the voting process. Why do you think they never win the real vote, but end up in seats? The Electoral College and the science of vote counting is the most efficient way to win elections. You choose your delegates wisely. Also, when you eliminate people off of voting rolls, when you make when you shut down
when you make mail-in voting,
right, shut down polling places and everything like that. It's it's the science of being a bully.
Gerrymandering is your thing.
Yeah, it's the science of being a bully. I hear you on it.
I control you because I can.
Right, and the golden rule.
He has the goal. Makes the rules.
Thaddeus says, if people had the same love for voting as they do NFL or NBA teams, we'd be in a better place.
Say it again, Thaddeus.
And yo, if we wore jerseys, we had,
Joe Biden jersey.
Yo, 1990, Mike Sterling on the back. Like, yeah, absolutely. But I believe that it's there's this cloak and veil on purpose. The less you all know, the more that I can do, and it may not necessarily mean the liking that you like. LaRock says the Sterling comment was crazy. It depends on that person's ideology and what they're lobbying for. And then Gary says, let me just say, you don't say to the face of a man who have fought for this country that you will not vote. Much respect to Sarge. Much respect to you, Sarge.
Yeah, and like I said, Negroes ain't got to vote if they don't want to vote. Du Bois stopped voting before he moved to Ghana. Du Bois stopped voting.
If you're not moving to Ghana, within the next.
But I'm saying though, this idea of black people voting and our voice through our vote has been up for discussion for generations, and we are still having the same discussion, and we are still being ridiculously oppressed, and we are still not hitting these markers of achievement. We literally just talked about how Detroit been stealing money for years from their citizens. Guess what? They went and they voted.
No, we're still
they
not
went
doing.
and they did
We're
what they were
still not
supposed
voting.
to do. And what did they do? They got foreclosed on.
We're still not voting. We're still not voting. That's it. We're still not voting. Nothing's going to change because we're still not voting.
And if we did vote, I promise.
If we did vote, we would win.
We voted for Biden.
Yeah. When we vote, we win. When we don't, we lose. It's that simple.
So, yeah, y'all do what y'all want to do. There's a primary happening on May 17th,
Hopefully
2022. Polls open at 6 a.m. I believe they close at 8 p.m. And if you work, third shift, that means that you got time that you can make it out there. However, you probably don't know that there's a midterm election. You just know that you're supposed to vote in November, but that's a whole nother situation. But you do what makes your heart feel good. That's it. I'm not going to be out here telling people that they must vote. That's not, no.
I will tell people you got to vote. Like you have to.
Thank you, LaRock. It takes more than voting.
Okay, it does take more than voting, but you have to vote
too. You don't get to step 2 without step 1.
Just like a car. A car is more than a motor, but you still need the motor. A car is more than 4 doors. It's more than 2 doors, but you still need the doors for the machine to operate correctly. You still need to vote to operate this political machine correctly.
And there are black people who are voting. I don't think that the power's in voting for black people. That's not where I'm at with it. I'm on we got to find a way to get our own money and get our own candidates and get something going on.
Our own money and own candidates starts with voting, Lady L. Then where does it start?
Where's your money coming from? When was the last time somebody voted to give you some money? Outside of COVID happening, outside of, them trying to back the banks.
The taxes taken out of my paycheck are a direct result of who I vote in.
Potentially, yes. If they're editing those tax codes at that time and everything like that, yes.
So then, isn't there a direct correlation between my money and then who I vote for? Like when we talk about property taxes, when we talk about school taxes and everything like that, like even for the landlords, like a lot of landlords now aren't paying for water, sewer, and trash. Why? Because of the taxes. Why? Because the people that we voted in raised those taxes. So then we feel that on this end, it all correlates. I'm not disagreeing with you all. I'm agreeing with you all that yes, we definitely have to do more than just vote. We can't just cast a vote and say, okay, I feel comfortable, America, make it happen. But we can't separate ourselves from not voting and then say, oh well, I'm going to complain about this when you had the opportunity to address that. Because that's really like how else can you address said politician making laws against you? How else? How else? Outside of voting. It's a tandem. Get active, get involved. You get behind somebody that you feel as though will represent you the right way, and not say that, I'm tired. I'm not going to make a joke there. But you get a candidate that that's going to support you, that's going to be that voice for you, and at the very least can be that advocate among 7, 8, 9, or 12 whomever makes up your city council. It begins there. It begins there. Like we say all the time, get active, get involved. And a part of that is voting. Again, yes, I understand there's more to it, but you can't have one without the other.
And that's why it's not a holiday. And that's why we don't get a day off.
Yes.
That's why we got to figure out how to do it and work around.
That's why they're trying to take it away from us.
And so then it just is what it is. It seems like it's a faulty system to begin with. So then you're playing into a faulty system that's not meant for you to win. It's not meant. It's like playing in this maze where they have these secret things that pop up.
All right, so what do you do if you don't?
You take your tail to work and do what you've been doing every day.
So you don't vote, don't do anything, and you just watch everything stay the same or get worse, right?
What part of I got Jesus?
I am not.
I am not.
I'm good, brother. I am
no matter
not going
who's
to
in
be.
Office.
People have died. People have died.
No matter who's in office.
People have died to vote. People have died for these rights to vote. Like voting is power. Like
yes. I can't be a passenger in this. Yo, I'm a participatory driver in this. I cannot say, okay, I'm just going to take myself out of the game by not participating. No, that's not how this thing works. By not participating, I'm playing into the powers that be, because my voice and my influence means everything in my community. If we have less voices and less people to advocate, and if people just say, I'm tired, I'm not going to participate, then we're going to end up with situations like a Philadelphia. Because so people are what? They're tired, or they move away and act like moving away is going to solve the issue. Or they just turn a whole blind eye to the issue and move to the suburbs and act like the issue ain't going to touch them. There's too much turning a blind eye. Black people did that when we moved out to the suburbs, thinking that a yard and a white fence and 2.5 kids is going to fix racism. But that ain't it.
Here we are in 2022 with the same.
Still talking the same
numbers.
Stuff.
And you know what? Black people were voting then too.
Oh my goodness, don't do that.
But it worked.
Yeah, it worked for us to move in the suburbs and get terrorized. Thank you.
Lady L, is or is not live. You're too pessimistic. I just that's your pessimism. Like you choose to look at it half empty. Voting really matters. The people that we vote in, the people that we vote in directly affect us. Mm-hmm. I mean that's fact. Let's get to these comment section because y'all are
off on the comment.
going off. Lady L, would you like to read them?
Yeah, I don't even.
Starting with
Real LaRock. He says, "Say that, Lady L," and then he says, "Y'all act like the Electoral College ain't a barrier. We have to eliminate that first." Gary says, "Lady L, but we don't give up." LaRock continues to say, "It takes more than voting. Ray Serrano says action more than voting. Taekwon says we need both. Uncle Gary says that is why my campaign slogan is, I don't need your campaign contribution. Keep your money. Just get off work and go vote. Corinne says,
Gary, you got my vote, bro.
I don't think do we live in his district?
I think Sarge does.
So Corinne, she says, look at what our own city officials have been approving. Gentrification, kicking us out of our homes with high taxes, etc. And yet, what do we really think they're going to do for us in Harrisburg? And yet I see respectable people on your community approving and endorsing them. And if we're going to have a problem on a federal level with this enthusiasm, then let's have the same pushback for these officials right here in Lancaster. LaRock says, actually, you have to show up. How do you get folks to show up? Because we can't even unite and show for folks when they stand up for themselves. Come on, son. We don't show up for one another, and that's the first step. He says put the damn number up. Emphasis on the for us. Good morning. It's the first time I've seen his name. Good morning, Bobby Schmurda. Says voting is power, but only when your votes are counted, like every other one. A protest vote is just that, a protest. The system was not built for us. We need to break the system and rebuild a system that is built by us.
Agreed.
Bobby Schmurda says he's with Lady L on this one. Thaddeus.
Bobby, I don't know why you choose to be wrong this morning, but you chose.
Thaddeus says the system is designed to make us fail, but we must do something. Bobby Schmurda says, but I see both sides. You all make some heavy, compelling.
Wait, hold on. Don't skip
that.
Don't skip that Huey P. Newton quote.
What are you talking about?
No, you skipped the Huey quote.
I didn't skip it.
No, she got to click on it.
All right. Well,
you get a pass.
Thaddeus says the first lesson a revolutionary must learn is that he is a doomed man. That was by Dr. Huey P. Newton.
Yeah, I don't see that. Sheila Wright says, good morning. Bobby Schmurda says, I love your passion, and I love the heated, passionate discussion. Neville says, y'all having conversations we need to have in a community, but that's why we have them on the show. That's why the show exists. It's melanated media. It's melanated news. These are the conversations in real time. LaRock says, we don't celebrate or care for each other the way we should, and that leads to space and mistrust, envy, and jealousy. The conditioning is deep, and the road to liberation comes through unity.
Absolutely.
Thaddeus says, we are not organized within states, but we need to be united by states and nationally to make progress. We need to create a third and fourth powerful, and that's all I see.
Political party.
Bobby Schmurda says, LAMFAOO. I choose you, right, fam?
And then Ryan, what is going on? Ryan says, "What's up from China? Glad to see you on here. Enjoying TCP in the morning.
In the nighttime in China.
Thank you.
I believe so.
Hey.
I believe so. Ryan is a friend of mine. Has been living out in China for I want to say about 6-7 years. I know that it was after you graduated from Howard. I won't hold that against you.
It's 9:49 right now out there.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, brother, and rocking with us.
One last comment though. Gary Brown says, "Lady L, you're not voting cancels out your husband's vote."
I hope not.
He's just saying, like, instead of having two voices.
Yes.
Like you're like,
Yes.
hey.
Yes.
She allowed someone else's vote against your candidate to weigh more.
It's just people are talking now. I don't know what's going on
Talking about people
in their house, but one's clearly voting and the other's not.
Or you're just watching the show. Because if you're running for office, Gary, then you'll probably see my actual name on those rolls and how often I've actually voted here in Lancaster County. So why don't you go ask about me?
She does it every day now.
Just so y'all know,
ask about her every day.
Lady
now.
L does vote, okay? Lady L does vote.
But I want to be a
just
voice
telling y'all
for
not
people
to?
who don't, because there's a legitimacy in people who choose not to vote. And I don't like that idea of people having, no, you gotta vote. It just bothers me. It bothers me. I'd rather break the
yes.
wheel of the system and we just try to start fresh than keep trying to
How
play
do
this
you
game.
break it without participating in it? That doesn't make any sense. That's like me saying I'm going to change the NFL without spending a day in the NFL. How? That doesn't happen. We, just like with TCP in the morning, we're not changing the news industry without being in the news industry.
Well, first of all, Marquise, you're the only person here that was in the news industry, so this place doesn't exist without you.
But this exists because I was in the news industry.
Yes, because you did. Yes.
I was a part of the industry, a part of the process. So then, just like with voting, if I remove myself from the process, if I remove myself from the political process, you can't change it from the outside. You can't change the inside of the house just from the exterior.
He was in the news. We were in the action. So it's like news and voting action, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't have one without the other.
Right. It's a tandem. Yes, voting, you can't sit there and just say, oh, I voted, life is going to change. No, it's a tandem. I voted and that's how it should be. Like I think that we got comfortable and fell into this mindset that, okay, voting fixes everything. You just need to vote. You just need to vote. You just need to vote. And that was a very lazy way of going about things. Now we need people to be committee members. We need people to canvass. And ultimately, we need to educate people on running locally and how to run. Like, again, it's a tandem of things.
I would say that sounds like a whole bunch of stuff that don't nobody want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to join nobody's committee. I'm not trying to give you more of my time and waste my time and play these games with these racist folk in these groups and using Robert's rules to throw at me and shut me up. Who wants to play those games?
You're in America. Then move. Like, if you're not going to play these
But
games,
America has kept me in this economic situation where, guess what? I don't have enough money to think about moving nowhere because I ain't even got enough money to get on a boat to Bermuda.
So then you got to stay here and fight. You just made my point.
Or I just stay here, don't vote, work my third, second shift job and mind my business.
So Lady
I
L
hope they don't come to your house.
Lady L just takes the whooping and keeps doing what she's doing.
That's what oppressed people do, though. They keep my head low.
No, that's not what oppressed people do. I completely disagree. That is not what oppressed people do. That's people that give up. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
That is oppressed people. We fight every day, regardless of the obstacles. We push that obstacle off and we keep going. If we need to take a break, we pass the baton to somebody else and say, young man, young woman, however you identify, you take it from here. I'll get you at the next checkpoint. That's how this thing is supposed to work.
Just because
y'all
you're
can't
oppressed,
even pass the baton from the church leadership, but you're gonna pass the baton in political processes. I don't trust.
I hear you, Lady L.
I don't. Gary says my comment is James McCarville deep. The wife voting for Bill Clinton and the husband not. And then LaRock said, whoa, nobody can say what the next person will do in a state of trauma. Thaddeus says, Lady L playing devil's advocate. This is how Satan Club started. George says, no matter how much America try to divide our thinking. Sheila says, voting is very important, especially in the primary. And then ask, who are we voting for? And LaRock says, nor should they judge them on that. And Gary says, blueshallovercome.com. Oh, man. Folks, we had a very, like we said, jam-packed show. We want to thank you for joining us and for rocking out with us on this version of TCP in the morning. Want to give you some good news. TCP in the morning can now be heard on our website, www.thetcpnetwork.com. TCP in the morning will be playing at 11 o'clock on our website. So if you did not catch all of the news and all of the commentary that happened today, make sure you catch it on the back end at 11 o'clock on our website. Again, that is www.thetcpnetwork.com. TCPnetwork.com. Yesterday we had I Don't Care If You Like This podcast premiere. Today we have Journeyman Chronicles with Felix Arroyo. He has a great show with his guest Brian Morrison. So that is very, very insightful. Tomorrow, we have Styro Boys coming on at 7 p.m. on www.thetcpnetwork.com. And, folks, finally, Sunday. The TCP app will officially be launching. So if you haven't made any room on your phone, please make room. And also, there will be a link for the adult prom that's happening in September so that you can get a couple dollars off. Thank you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And the comments, keep them coming. We will be here tomorrow, 8 a.m., giving you the news you need, the news you wanted, and the news you did not know existed. And on that note, Lady L.
All right, guys, listen, before we go, I do want to remind you to go on ahead and check out Busybody's Play Cafe. They have drop-in play where there are no classes, schedules, or parties, and you can walk in during this time without a reservation, and it's guaranteed to play. So listen, go on ahead and visit Busybody's Play Cafe over at the shops at Rockville. Also, just want to remind you, as my handsome husband co-host just said, the adult prom tickets will be going on sale on May 1st, and you can check them out right through our app, TCP Plus. Listen, guys, you don't want to miss it this year. We're going to be hosted by the awesome-tastic building, the Ware Center here in downtown Lancaster on Prince Street. So we would love to have you there. 25 and over is a must. Go ahead, over to the desk.
Hey.
Well, time to settle it down once again. It was a great show. I love y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all tuned in. Y'all had a good one today.
Oh, yeah, man.
We opened it up right, and we just kept it rolling. We kept it going. So I like to say to my kings, my queens, my princes and princesses, my baby boys and baby girls, to he, him, her, she, they, them, we, baby. We love you. And remember, don't focus on the pain. Focus on the progress. And just believe in yourself. Even if you don't, pretend that you do. And at some point, you will. Have a great day, y'all.
Folks, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow, 8 a.m., same place, same time. TCP in the morning.
Bring a friend with you.
Yes. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Watch TCP. Share the stream because friends don't let friends. TCP alone.
Gang, gang.
And folks, we'll see you in church.
Good morning. Wake up, guys. It's TCP in the morning.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up! It's TCP in the morning.
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 TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning.
Good morning. Wake up, y'all. It's TCP in the morning with the morning tea.
Sing the song here in a minute.
TCP in the morning.